Good evening. And welcome to the regular meeting of Villa Park City Council. I hereby call the meeting to order. Alyssa, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Councilwoman Jones?
Here.
Councilman McBride?
Present.
Councilwoman Miles?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Frackleton?
Here.
And Mayor Wu? All present.
Thank you. Today I will ask Roger to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand if you're able. Face the flag. Hand over heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Villa Park City Council and staff welcome you to this meeting, and we encourage your participation. If you wish to address the City Council, please complete and submit a speaker card to the City Clerk. Speaker cards can be found at the entrance to the City Council chambers. Speakers will be called up individually during the public comment section of the meeting, or during the item they wish to speak on. If you're attending via Zoom and wish to speak, please unmute yourself when you are called on during the public comment section. Once the public comment period has concluded for an item, no additional speakers will be taken. Speakers will be limited to a time period of 5 minutes. Speakers were also able to submit comments in writing by 3 p.m. today. Those comments will be placed in the official record. We will have a brief presentation by Cal Fire Museum.
Come on up, Randy.
We will play a short video, and then they will present the museum.
You ready? Okay.
Oh, it was exciting. We've been looking forward to this for probably about a year. And I am so excited that the California Fire Museum is going to say we started in downtown Orange and their old fire station that was just sitting here collecting dust because we hadn't figured out how to move forward with it yet. And so this is a perfect solution. And I especially love the safety component. Will help educate kids on what to do in emergencies if a fire breaks out in their own home. So it's going to save lives as well. It's all great, and I couldn't be happier.
Thank goodness the city of Orange that we have this, their old fire headquarters, to be the home for the California Fire Museum. Without them, this wouldn't have happened, and this is just great to have a home for all this great old fire apparatus and memorabilia and the education center. To have that here is just a godsend to the region and to the city of Orange and to all of Orange County.
Good evening. I'm Randy Marcel. I'm the director of the California Fire Museum Safety Learning Center Orange Annex, and I have Roger Fitch in here. He's my co-director at the museum, and I'd like to thank Mayor Wu and Mayor Pro Tem Frackleton and our City Council member Jones and McBride and Miles. Thank you for having us here tonight. This has been a long time coming, and we're blessed by the city of Orange to have this old fire station that was sitting abandoned, not abandoned, but empty. and with no real purpose. So we proposed, and we just signed our second-year contract with the City of Orange. We don't know what our future is because, you know, the city wants to sell most of that downtown area, but a lot of the folks downtown want us to be there, and they enjoy us, and we are open every second and fourth Saturday, and then starting in September, we will be open for school children to come in. We're working a pilot with the Orange Unified School District to start having kids come to the facility to learn, because it's one of its key things. It's a safety learning center, and we have from the Orange County Fire Authority, we have their fire prevention trailer, and there's Edison and the gas company have setups in that facility, and we really have been blessed, and we're hoping that other cities and other donors, folks that if you guys know people that would like to come alongside us, because we really believe that what we have done here in the city of Orange is really, they just voted 7-0. They'll keep us there for another year, so hopefully that continues to work. So, do you have anything?
I would like to thank Councilman Frackleton for his support in donating one fire engine that's parked front and center, 1931 American France, I believe, and some beautiful display cases that we couldn't have had otherwise. The ones we had were mom's curio cabinets and stuff for display, and these just blow those away. We put those away, and those cabinets are really helping us look first class. So really appreciate your support.
And if moving forward, you know, we have 1 year, so we accomplished a lot. Getting that facility open, making huge repairs at not taxpayer costs. We have undergone almost all the repairs at that facility because we're firemen. We know how to fix things, and we know how to make things work and that don't work. So we had that, and we have a lot of contractors and stuff that have come in and kind of made the thing look a lot better and work a lot better. And now, moving on, we're still going to be looking at doing more training. And we have a training room in there and opening it up to training companies to come in and do some training with the communities and stuff like that. So again, Edison has been a great sponsor with us, and along with the gas company, and Orange County Fire Authority has been excellent loaning us that beautiful trailer, and that the kids really enjoy coming in and learning in that trailer. So, but Roger's been a longtime Villa Park resident. You know, I got to go to Villa Park High School and then moved to Yorba Linda. So, but I still love this town. So, but if there's any, if any of the business people or anything that would like to come alongside or help us and be with us, and we would really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Would you like us to have a photo with you?
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I think you should know, not only is Randy a Villa Park High School graduate, but Roger Fitchin back there is true Villa Park royalty. His, if you've heard of Fitchin Ranch Road, that's his family. They moved to Orange in 1880. They moved to what's now Villa Park in 1938. I don't think Roger's that old, but they are our absolute royalty here in Villa Park. One of the few original citrus growing families that's still here with us, and it's a pleasure to have both of you here.
Absolutely, and thank you for that introduction about Roger Fitchins. And I know Roger Fitchin will participate our 50 years time capsule. So his legacy and his family story will live on for another 50 years until we open that, 2076. So moving right along, it is our pleasure to recognize 3 local businesses. And I will imagine all of us have the opportunity to visit them. I don't know about my fellow council member. I personally have visited all 3 of them. And I enjoy all 3. The first recognition will go to Rockwell's Cafe and Bakery. Benny?
Well, thank you. Some of you may know Rockwell's. I don't have a video. I'm not that entertaining. I apologize. Many of you know Rockwell's has been around for a long time. We opened in 1987. Rockwell's has been providing great tasting bakery items and custom cakes. My own parents got their wedding cake at Rockwell's long before I was associated with them. It's been a part of the community, and through the years, it's expanded and changed. The Skeffingtons took over Rockwell's operations in 2012. With that, they expanded and opened the Post, which is now a venue for live music and a great gathering place. We've expanded the patio kind of through the COVID time and opened a location in San Clemente. We're a little bit of everything. About 3 years ago, Chef Nelson and I joined the team. We've expanded our menu. We've expanded our offerings. We've opened a location now in Newport Beach where we're making our own fresh bread now, so not just cakes. So if you get anything in our restaurant, all that bread product is stuff that we make ourselves. And so we're a little bit of everything. We've opened our speakeasy last year, so we now have a speakeasy as well. We are a breakfast spot. We're a watering hole, a social gathering place. We are a place for live music. And most of all, we're here with fantastic baked goods. And the thing we're most proud about is we're a proud member of this community. And we're very happy and very pleased to be here in Villa Park.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for being here and feeding us with your sweets and the music, entertainment. Just in case you have too much sweets and you got eyesight problem, then we got a doctor here. Villa Park Optometry, doctor.
All right, thank you, council members and Mayor Wu and Mayor Pro Tem Robert Frackleton. I recognize all of you. I think you've all been to my office, and it's an honor to be here. I've been here in Villa Park 9 years now, and I purchased the practice from Dr. Ferkolo, which many of you may or may not know, and it's really been a great opportunity to rebuild the business and just serve the community. And it's been a pleasure and an honor. And you know, we provide great eye exams, and yeah, I recognize a lot of people in here actually, which speaks a lot about this community. You know, we support each other here. And that's my favorite part of it. And I grew up in Yorba Linda, so not too far away as well. But I always had an inkling that I loved the city. I had friends that grew up here. Every time we visited, it was wonderful. And so I'm happy to be here, and I'm thankful that I'm able to serve for many years to come. So thank you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
The next one is Club Pilates. Sorry. I don't know why I stumble. I'm there 5 days a week, so, I enjoy working out there. Would you please come?
Yay, Club Pilates.
Hello, I'm Sophia. I'm the regional manager of Club Pilates Villa Park.
And I'm Olga. I'm studio manager and members experience coordinator.
And we're really grateful for being here. You know, both of us have had really personal experiences with this studio. I started out at the front desk and I've grown through the company, and Olga started out as a member, has grown through the company as well. We've both gotten to work out alongside Mayor Wu, as well as I've gotten to teach him. I've had the pleasure of teaching him.
Competitive spirit there, for sure.
Yes, very much so. It's always very fun having him in class. But we have been a part of this community we're approaching our 11th year now. It's something that this studio holds a very special place in my heart. I, oversee several studios, but this is, don't tell anyone, but my favorite location. I always want to come back to, and I consider it my home. And I am so grateful to our members for voting for us. We couldn't do it without them and everything that they give to us, and we hope to continue giving back to them as well as the community. And yeah, we hope to continue giving back to the community for the next 11 years and continuing to grow that partnership. So thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, the next person up would be Sheriff Department.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor Wu. This incident summary is for June 18th to July 24th, 2026. We had 331 total reported incidents, which was just up slightly, 14 month over month, and total reports taken, 21. That was 4 more. Crimes against property society was 6. And non-injury traffic accidents, 2, with no injury traffic accidents, no crimes against persons. Moving citations, 48, parking citations, 20. And just a little summary of the types of crimes we saw with those reports. We had a vandalism, stolen property, which was tools, stolen wallet, stolen packages, and 2 vehicle stops that yielded illegal narcotics. Those were observed stops that our deputies made and actually found some illegal narcotics on some people and made some arrests. So pretty good there. I wanted to share our upcoming National Night Out, which is going to be Tuesday, August 4th, here in the City Hall parking lot from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We plan on having some members from our SWAT team there, as well as our motor deputies, some reserves with the Humvee. The kids always like that, to take pictures with it, and K9 deputy, some members from our coroner's office, which is interesting. Those are always good recruiting things as well. The coroner's office is always popular, as well as the crime lab. Members from the crime lab will be there. And also our partners at the CHP and OCFA. So I think it'll be a great time, and I invite all of you and all of the community members to please come out and have some conversations and hang out with us and see what we're all about.
Thank you. Any questions from the council? Go ahead.
Chief Timmons, I didn't see anything about fireworks on there. We had no incidents related to illegal fireworks or anything.
No, sorry. I delivered that during our LEAC meeting, but so we during the 4th of July, the 3 days, so the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, we had a drone up. There was a handful of reported firework incidents. I forget the exact numbers. It was pretty low. I want to say there was about 5 or so the first day. Okay, sure. So July 2nd, we had the drone up. The drone observed 3 incidents of fireworks, and 2 people were warned. July 3rd, they observed only 1, and 1 person was warned. And then July 4th, they observed 3. There were 8 calls to dispatch reference fireworks, and 2 people were warned. Our posture during that time was 15 total, but our posture at that time was, the drones are new, and we wanted it for operational support, make sure our deputies are being safe, the community was safe, and all that. The posture was, just see what we could observe with the patrol drone that we were using. They did give some warnings. They didn't issue any citations. I thought it was a great learning point for our deputies and for the program moving forward. Obviously, on July 4th, we would have probably been a little bit more proactive, but there was a call for mutual aid that night. And so a lot of our deputies ended up responding
Maybe
to
down
that.
at the beach.
Yeah. So our priorities shifted a little that night, but still no major reported incidents or anything like that. To be honest, the drone operator said that a majority of the fireworks they saw were coming from outside of our city boundaries, so they were more coming from the orange side. So talking to them seemed like, there's always going to be fireworks, incidents, and but they said it was actually,
Seemed a bit more restrained. That's why
I thought so. And the drone had a strobe light on and stuff. And I would hope we posted it online and everything. I was hoping that people were aware that it was going to be out there helping us out during those calls. Again, it was for safety reasons I was worried about my deputies driving around, going to emergency calls, in the dark with kids in the street and things like that. So if there's any way we could cut down those response times or make it a little safer for everybody, that's kind of what our focus was.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So do you consider it a success? Will you use it again next year?
I would push for it, yes. The technology is growing so fast, the DFR programs and things like that. I don't know what we're going to have next year. I would hope that the program's going to expand quite a bit in the next year. So, yeah, I definitely would use it. And, we'll see what kind of operational plan we could come up with before then.
And Captain, now we are in summer season. I think I see more teenagers on e-bike. How are your deputies handling those fun, naive kids?
Yeah, of course. It's summertime, so they're out and about. I've told them to make sure they have their eyes open. I know there's been incidents of golf carts and scooters as well. So any of those e-devices, I just want everybody to be aware that the deputies are looking out for them. They have issued some citations. Our school resource officers are not in school, but they are also helping out with that quite a bit as well.
Any other questions? No? Thank you, Captain. All right, OCFA Chief.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Kyle Kuzma, Battalion Chief with Orange County Fire, serve in Villa Park. So for the last month, since our last meeting on June 23rd, we had 58 dispatched calls in the city of Villa Park. Out of those 58, 30 were medical aid related. We had 1 fire, 2 hazardous condition calls, and then the other 25 were in our miscellaneous category: auto alarms, odor checks, smoke checks, public assists, calls of that nature. Obviously, our biggest event over this last month was the 4th of July, and being able to have Engine 23 leading the parade again this year. Always a highlight for our folks at Station 23, and just grateful to be a part of that event again this year. It's such a great event that we look forward to every year. Otherwise, the 4th of July was overall very safe. Here in Villa Park, we didn't have a lot of calls for service or significant fires or anything really related to fireworks or injuries related to fireworks. So everybody was safe this year, which is good, and had an enjoyable holiday. The safety message I'd like to share for this month is about beach safety. We talk a lot about drowning and drowning prevention in the summer months, and a lot of times that's focused on our swimming pools, backyard residential swimming pools, community pools. But we'd just like to share a few things about beach safety. Although Villa Park's not on the coast, we are relatively close here, especially with the heat that we've been having lately. Our residents here might be looking to get to the beach to get some cool ocean water, but we just want to make sure that they're safe. So know before you go, just look at the weather, look at the surf report. You can find out that information through the news outlets or websites, National Weather Service. Just for example, currently right now there is a high surf advisory that's going over the next few days for large waves and rip currents. So just be aware of that before you go to the beach, and then when you get there, check in with a lifeguard. Take a look at the lifeguard tower. They usually have flags posted, green, yellow, and red. Green being, the safest time to swim. Small waves, not a lot of rip currents. Yellow is moderate, and then red is kind of the no-go. That's, high surf, lots of rip currents, probably not the day to go out in the ocean. So just check in with the lifeguard. If you're not sure about the current conditions, make sure it's safe for you, your friends, your family to go in the water. Make sure that you never swim alone, just like swimming in a pool. If you're going to go out in the ocean, always go with somebody else, and then swim near a lifeguard tower. And then just a little bit about rip currents. If anyone's not familiar with rip currents, basically when you have large waves, that set of waves will come up. It moves a lot of water up the beach, and then that water wants to flow back out to the ocean. So it'll find a channel to flow through, and that water, it's like a river flowing from the beach back out to sea. And if you get caught in that, it'll start taking you out to sea. So the main thing is to not panic, and you don't want to try to swim directly towards shore because you're trying to swim upriver. And that can be very difficult. It can be exhausting. You can get tired and then not be able to tread water. So you want to swim parallel to the shore till you get out of the rip current into the clear water, and then you're able to swim in from there. Just remember that. Like I said, check in with a lifeguard when you get to the beach. Make sure it's safe to go into the water, and that way you can have a safe time at the beach and enjoy it with your family and friends. Any questions on that?
Any questions? No?
I have a quick,
Go ahead.
quick one. Do you have any further information on that small little brush fire that happened up at the top of Feather Hill?
Nothing real specific. There was a report that somebody heard a firework near the time that it started. That was just one of the residents nearby.
Okay.
But we never found any evidence of fireworks. If you know the area, it was kind of isolated to the ornamental vegetation, and then it did get up into some cypress trees. But luckily, it didn't extend beyond that. There's
You
kind
guys
of
were very quick
an
to
open
respond.
area that goes across meets there, and then a hillside, which had recently been plowed, so they had done good, weed mitigation there. But other than that, we didn't have any other reports. We checked with the residents to see. We were hoping maybe somebody had a Ring camera or something where we could capture some footage, but nobody did. So it was just kind of that one report that someone maybe heard a firework. But then as we sifted through the whole area, we weren't able to find any evidence of fireworks, so.
Appreciate your good response
Yeah.
time, because that really helped make
Yeah.
sure that it didn't become something.
Yeah, luckily we
Catastrophic.
caught it quick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we will hear comments from members of the public to address any off-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council, provided that no action may be taken on off-agenda items unless authorized by law. We will also be hearing public comments on each agenda item. Alyssa, is there anyone that is present or wrote in from the public that would like to comment on an off-agenda item?
Yes, we have two. The first one is Thomas Britton.
Good evening. My name is Thomas Britton. I live at 9881 Orchard Lane, which is at the near intersection of Taft and Lemon. It's one street north of that. My house backs onto Lemon, and the reason I'm here, I take issue with the captain's characterization of the fireworks issues in Avella Park. We have had a 4-year ongoing battle with major fireworks occurring within anywhere from 100 yards of my house to perhaps a mile. And I've brought some exhibits to make my point. I'd like to hand them out. So I've had 3 encounters with the Orange County Sheriff over the last 4 years. The last 3 years I called twice. Finally got an officer to come to the presence of fireworks. He talked to the people on the street, didn't issue any citation. I then talked to the deputies the next day, trying to get their point of view on how they respond to these, and I got a number of, gee, I'm sorry, I hope it doesn't happen to you again, we're trying our best, hopefully we'll get it under control. It was a nice conversation, but didn't accomplish anything. The third one was this year, in which the dispatcher answered my phone, very polite. They asked if I wanted someone to visit. I indicated I would like them to visit. And no one showed up. So those are my encounters with the Orange County Sheriff's Department over 3 years on this matter. So as I started thinking about how I needed to attack this, I decided I wanted to look at the city's ordinances on safe fireworks, illegal fireworks, and whatever the ordinances were. And I will summarize for the record that generally the ordinance is that Villa Park requires safe and sane fireworks to be used within the city, and they are the only permitted fireworks to be used, and there are penalties associated with that, which includes a $500 fine, imprisonment, or both, depending upon the seriousness of the effect. Then the question becomes, what is meant by safe and sane? And the city points to the California state regulations. Don't remember the exact title of the ordinances, but that's 12,500 through 12,529. That's where it identifies what safe and sane fireworks means. There's nowhere, anywhere in the California regulations that defines illegal fireworks, but I assume that if the city says the only permitted fireworks are sane and safe fireworks, that anything that's not sane and safe would be illegal. So sane and safe fireworks as defined by the California ordinances are as follows. Those that do not have aerial flight capability, those that do not have an explosive blast capability, uncontrolled projectile capabilities, High fire ignition capabilities mean the ability to start a fire, and I make this point that high thermal energy temperatures of some of these projectiles reach 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. These are not simply a lighted firecracker. They're highly combustible. So I won't go through the rest of them. What I do want to do is call your attention to 3 of them, and one of them is the aerial Safe and Sane. And I've given you 2 exhibits,
30
Exhibit
seconds.
1 and Exhibit 2, which show that if I look, Exhibit 1 is looking south-southeast from the front of my house, my 2nd story, and you can see the projectile there, and I drew a line at the roof line of the house over which this projectile was viewed, and it is easily 100 feet in the air. The second exhibit is outside my bathroom window, and you can see a light, a telephone pole or an electrical pole in the middle of that, and I circled where the crosshairs of that lighting pole are, and it indicates that I've diagrammed on the following exhibit. 5 minutes, I know I'm up. 5 minutes, it shows that that projectile is somewhere around 80 to 100 feet in the air, and it's 75 feet from my back house, from my backyard. The last point I make is the third exhibit. The third exhibit is a projectile that was airborne on the west side of my house. That video is showing the east side of my house. It lit up the day, lit up the night as if it was day. If you look at the timestamp on the top of that, it was 10 o'clock at night. And the shadows that you see on the street are the top roof line shadows of my house. There were about 10 concussions that were about a second or 2 apart that you could feel it in your body. And I'm telling you
I do
that
apologize.
right now, Villa Park is behaving like a sanctuary city, allowing illegal fireworks,
Mr. Thomas,
or
I
non-safe
need to-
fireworks to be used. And I know it's a pejorative term, but we are allowing dangerous fireworks to be used that have high combustibility capability and the possibility of human harm. Thank you. I take
Thank
issue
you.
with you, sir.
Alyssa, is there anyone else?
Yes, there's one other, Keith Susie Kassenhorst.
Well, I live here in Villa Park also, 18432 Hillcrest Avenue. I appreciate what the gentleman just said, and I think he made it pretty clear. I am astonished that you gave a report on how calm things were in Villa Park over the 4th of July. They weren't calm. Maybe my street is in a little island on its own, but once the illegal fireworks start, I think there should be some ability to stop it. Drone or no drone, somebody could come to the area and check it out. For years, once the city decided to allow safe and sane fireworks, we've been used to getting tranquilizers for our dogs, keeping inside. We can't go out on the 4th of July. We're used to that, but once beyond that, when they start doing the illegal fireworks, and there's no question, we're still cleaning up in our backyard some of the remnants of these monstrous. They're gorgeous, but they're not legal. And I just think it's a bad look for the whole city, and I don't know why there haven't been fires. Fortunately, there haven't, but very disappointing, and I wish we could do something about it. And maybe when we vote on the next election, we'll consider what the city council's doing on this.
Thank you. Alyssa, anyone else for public comments?
No, that's all.
Okay. Now we will move into our agendized public hearings. Our first hearing is the review to waive reading in full of all ordinances and resolutions on the agenda. I will now open the hearing. Staff, please give the staff report.
Thank you, Mayor Wu. This is our regular monthly item in order to move our meeting more efficiently. and we recommend approval.
Council members, do you have any questions of staff?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, let's vote.
And that passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now we will consider our consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are considered routine and are usually enacted by one motion approving the recommended action listed on the agenda. Any member of the City Council, staff, or the public may request an item be removed from the consent calendar for discussion or separate actions. Council members, are there any items from number 2 to 6 that you would like to remove from the consent calendar? Go ahead.
I would like to pull item 6.
Item 6. Anyone else?
I was going to pull 6.
Okay. All right.
Also, item number 4.
Okay. Item number 4. Any other items? Okay. Besides that, can I have a motion to pass item 2, 3, 5?
So moved. Second.
Let's vote.
And that passes 5-0.
Okay. Now I have an agenda item number 6, pulled by Council Member Jones.
Yeah.
And number 4?
I did in order by who said it first. So it's still in order, but number 4.
Item 4 is just our grand jury report for the California housing mandates. We just want to update that. Before we send the letter, we've updated any typos that were on that letter.
All right, council member, any questions of staff? Comments? Any motion?
I'll move it.
Any? Thank you. Let's vote.
And that passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now let's move to number 6. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to pull this item because I felt that, this sort of issue should go in front of full council with an explanation to the community. So maybe if we could just proceed with the staff giving their staff report on this item.
Thank you. This item is to approve an encroachment agreement at the end of adjacent of Feather Hill Drive where the fire existed just several weeks ago, actually, I think, at 9431. So this is an agreement that will allow, the city owns basically a swath of land that runs about 3 feet from the sidewalk across. It's an old water pipe, no longer in use, and is no longer, it's just maintained by the city. It's about 3 feet from the sidewalk from the end of Feather Hill. So what this will do is we're working with the owner of 9431 Feather Hill, who has requested that he be allowed to put up allowed to access out to his property line over the city easement, a fence, a wall basically on the north side, and potentially he wants to put up one on the Feather Hill side, but he'll have to come back for a variance on that. This would be a 6-foot wall along the side and allow him to put up the thing. And to clarify, it will definitely not affect the walkway in any way. The walkway will remain open, and if you're looking for clarification, it's what you see here, unfortunately, is a lot of the swath of the surveyor's report and how it's filed with the assessor's office. But on A1, you'll see where it goes to, and that's where the property line hits, and you'll see that the walkway remains open on that. Just for clarification, because I know we've received 2 letters concerned that would be closed. That's not. So specifically the area that the fencing that is out there right now, the construction fence, is misleading because that's all the way out. That's not, it will go back to his property line is where it is. So I know that the contractor and the owner's son are both here to answer any questions. This is the first step. The second step would be they are requesting the ability to put up a 6-foot wall on the front, but that would require, on the front yard, but that would require variance, so that would have to come back to the council, and we'll hope that the contractor's hoping and the owner to come back potentially next month. But I wanted to clarify, thank you for doing that, because when you look at the surveyor maps, it shows the entirety of our easement, and it doesn't just identify it. So thank you for allowing us to clarify.
Well, and if I have one more question, I did have a concern from a resident that by allowing the encroachment over the whole property, even if they're only allowed to develop on the site plan now, the fact that we're granting the encroachment leaves that area open to allowing later development. So that would not be the case.
Well, everything outside of that easement is in the city of Orange, is not in our jurisdiction.
No, but the portion that's being left open for the walkway, being as we're granting
That would be
an
landscape.
encroachment for everything.
No, the city, we'll work with that's what we'll be working with him on with the owner on the landscaping in the front part of that.
Okay, so it's a condition of this that walkway remain open?
Yes.
Okay.
The condition it's clearly in the design that remains open. There's no doubt. I've walked it with the contractor and the owner several times, and if you want him to verify, he can verify. But it's definitely, as we understand it, and I think he's nodding his head affirmatively, so that's, yeah.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
And by the way, if there any need, the way the agreement reads, if there's any need for the city to access that land again, the owner must remove that at his expense, any construction or wall that would be put up. All right, so that's just another clarification, and the owner understands that.
Okay. You have a question for the staff?
I do. So, two. One is, how come we don't make this a public hearing?
Most encroachment permits are ministerial. They don't even come to the city council.
Okay.
It's not a property rights issue under the Government Code of California, which triggers public hearing requirements. So there's no legal requirement to do so.
Okay. And then my next one is, I guess we've kind of outlined in our staff report kind of all the makings of how the property owner can come back later if this is granted and say, well, I want my wall, I want my variance for my wall, and you guys kind of agree with me because everything in the staff report kind of sets it up that way, including mentioning all the safety improvements, reduced maintenance, the eliminating an irregular parcel. So how do we make sure that we're, by approving this encroachment, we're not creating the appearance of preferential treatment, especially since we've kind of already documented the public benefit rationale, and how do we clearly separate this action from any future potential variance granting?
I think you've said it. This is a separate action from the variance, so the variance has to be treated in and of itself, and that would come as a separate agenda item. So that would come forward to the council at a later date. There's no requirement that anything be approved necessarily. It's up to the council to take action at that time, based on the circumstances that they believe it appropriate. Is that correct, Todd?
In contrast, in going back to your first question, a variance, as you know, is a figment of state law, which requires a public hearing in which we have to make state-mandated legal findings in order to allow for the variance. No special benefit to the property is one of those findings. So no matter what this says, at that hearing, that finding would be required to be made, and if it can't, then they don't get a variance.
And so with the property owner, I guess if this encroachment is granted, is it the, kill switch if the property owner knows, or shouldn't say no, but if, is for the property owner, I guess I can ask him, is getting the variance for the wall kind of the delimiting factor, so that way if he doesn't get the 6-foot variance, then he doesn't build on it and it's just left open still? Do we know?
I mean, I don't know the intentions of the owner, and I don't think he's approached that at this point, and that
Okay.
we're still in discussions. But the wall that he's asking for, 6 foot, is on the side of Meats, and I believe they want to do that for security reasons. There's no reason not to do that, and I think that provides some security, which has open access at this point, if I'm correct.
You need to come to the microphone, please. state your name.
My name is Clay Barrett. I'm the
Wait until you get to the microphone so it can be
Because
recorded.
people can't hear unless you're.
Okay, my name is Clay Barrett. I'm the contractor and I'm representing Mr. Sheng. It's out of the country right now, or he'd be here himself. To address your concern about the wall, especially, obviously the motivation for it is for the security of his property, which is really wide open and vulnerable. When you go to the end of the cul-de-sac, especially because the street is elevated, you're literally looking down into not only a tennis court, but near his swimming pool area, and his entire backyard is completely exposed at that point. And the fire was obviously one of the concerns that he always had that ended up happening, which I know there's been other concerns about people that hang around down at the end of the cul-de-sac, which makes him, the security concern is for sure there. And he's motivated to secure his property, but he's also very motivated to beautify not only his property, but the city's property at the same time. And I think that the plans that he's put forward will show that it'll be an improvement not only to the city, but to his property, and it's kind of a win-win for everybody.
So, do you mind if I ask? So I'm only speaking for myself, and I cannot dictate or determine what the council will or will not do, but my question more is, if, say, the encroachment is granted and then you come for a variance for the wall height to be increased, and if the variance was not granted, what's he going to do then?
Well, certainly he's very motivated for the 6-foot wall. I'm not going to deny that that's truly there, because in my description of the street being elevated and then looking
I've
down
seen
on
it,
the property, a 3-foot wall wouldn't even reduce the line of sight. And I mean, speaking only for myself, and Mr. Sheng did not tell me this, but I mean, I'm at the end of that cul-de-sac. A 3-foot wall is just a bench seat for people to hang out on, to be honest
No,
with you.
and I can understand exactly the argument for the wall. I'm just saying, if it's not granted, is he still going to go through with building a wall? Just only at 3 feet?
Of course. Well,
Okay.
I mean,
That was just my question,
Yes.
is it won't deter him from making the wall at all, right?
well, I have pictures, but the construction fence has gone up. But I mean, since the fire, something has to happen.
Right.
And so, I mean, certainly it's going to be a big investment on his part, regardless of what's going to happen. So certainly, being that this investment that he's going to put in
Right,
kind of
and I
came
can
upon him because of the fire, he
all
really
that.
is motivated for the wall, yes.
Totally understand. Just more wanting to know, is he still going to go through
But
it?
he'll do something, of
Okay,
course.
that was it. Thank you. That was it.
Do you have any other questions?
Nope, thank you. Any public comments would like to speak on this topic?
I have no blue slips other than the 2 that were written in prior to the meeting.
Okay.
I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Did we public notice the people on the Feather Hill? Do they know about this?
No, we did not. There's no public hearing requirement on this, so we did not notify them. The neighbors, though, did petition us across the street and ask that we do something because the vegetation's all gone.
And I see at least one Feather Hill family here. Is anyone against this? Okay. Yeah, the walkway's staying. But, okay. Anyone else from Feather Hill?
You don't think that we shouldn't just put this out so that we can have public input on this?
Well, I think our attorney already mentioned this is not.
I know we don't have to, but I mean, I kind of feel like maybe we should, just to, CYA almost. That's all.
Well, counsel?
I have a comment. We granted a similar style wall at the Baril's residence on Valley recently, and the wall has been installed, and I think that there is a legitimate safety concern with that type of a hillside, much like the one at the Baril's. And so it seems very sensible in that respect, and if he has to come through with a variance, then he's complying with our city requirements.
Right, but this isn't about the variance. This is just the encroachment part.
Yeah,
So,
I understand.
And I understand completely the logic behind a wall. I was just, that was more of just, what happens if type scenario. But back to my question about I wonder if we wouldn't, if we shouldn't do our due diligence and just kind of say, hey, you know what, we should do a public notice on this and let the residents come. Just that way we don't get anybody that says, well, I had no idea. And what do you mean it was on consent? Why didn't we have the ability to, we didn't know about it. So I don't know. I kind of would like to maybe have it come back as an agenda item, an action item that we can let people know about.
But
I
again,
believe
this
you
is,
probably have a motion. You need a motion and a second to have it continued.
council members,
I'll make the motion to continue this so that we can do a public notice, just so that we do our due diligence and letting the residents and the community know what's going on.
is,
Mayor, I was going to just clarify, what do you mean by public notice? How many feet?
Whatever, isn't it 300 feet? Or what's the standard?
Well, yeah, for,
What is it, 300 feet?
it's generally 300 feet for variances and things of that nature, I believe.
Even
yeah.
though this isn't even though this is not the variance part, it's just the encroachment and letting people know. And it may be that everyone's so happy and it's super simple, but at least that way we're communicating with the residents.
Oh, no,
So just to clarify, the encroachment agreement is on the north side. It does not affect the front. So the variance is not what is being approached here. It's just that small segment on that. So it is only on the side that is vulnerable right now to meets that the encroachment agreement really impacts. So we will be doing on a variance, there is a public noticing requirement on the variance. So there will be public access on the side that faces Feather Hill. So in lieu of holding up the safety element, staff's recommending we go ahead with this. It will be a separate piece that the council can take action on the variance that would affect. But the wall that is being proposed, the 6-foot element on the Mead's side we recommend it strongly as a safety, because if you go up there, you'll see exactly what is vulnerable there. So we're going to get exactly what you say. The people on Feather Hill will have the exact opportunity to come and speak on the variance. But in the meantime, we'll be allowed to let the contractor make the effort to secure his property.
Right. And again, I'm not having any issue with a potential wall or whatever. It's more the encroachment. My focus is on the encroachment and just letting the neighborhood, the community in that area know that this is the plan and the request by the resident to have this encroachment agreement. It's more just, I don't want anyone to ever come and ask me and say, well, why didn't you recommend that it get put as an action item? Like it was on consent. That's just how I feel. Nobody has to agree with me. It's just how I feel.
and
I feel
also,
like
I think, sorry to cut you off, are
No,
you
it's okay.
finished?
yeah, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. I think if we ask if the council approve a public comment or a public encroachment, I personally believe we are double work. As our staff mentioned, when the applicant come in to ask for variance, it will become public. That's my number one concern. Number two concern is if at this moment the council approved the public comment time to be on the agenda, I'm curious who will be required to pay for the public notice. Because certainly not the owner did not ask, and legally this particular item, encroachment, legally does not require a public notice. Thank you. So now it comes to who's gonna pay for it. I personally don't think the city need to pay for it because we are doing eventually this item will be public notice. Why do we need to delay it when that street will be notified? And to be quite honest, on the owner's dime versus on the council's dime when we are achieving the same thing. That's more what I'm thinking. However, you already made the motion, and I believe Mayor Pro Tem make the second.
So can
Do
we
you
have some
still-
discussion, though, since we have a motion and a second?
Absolutely. So I just want to make sure Mayor Pro Tem still would hold your second, or you will withdraw your second.
I already said it, so I'm not going to
Okay,
go back.
good.
But I'm going
No.
to now talk against my motion. Am I ready for my comments?
Hold on. Council Member Jones would like to talk before you, if that's okay. All right, I just want to make sure I'm running it correctly, right? All right.
Okay. Okay, so I definitely see the point made by Councilwoman Miles regarding notifying the neighbors, because there has been some concern that even though the site plan right now only says, 105 feet, say, their encroachment agreement is for, what was it, like 148, so could they still develop on that portion? And so as long as we have the assurances that they can't, I think that mitigates a lot of the public concern. But I definitely see the point about notifying everyone so all the neighbors are aware that this is what's happening. But to Mayor Wu's point, I can see not wanting to pay for it. And I definitely see the safety concern as well. And just so the rest of the council knows, I did speak with the neighbor who is directly across the street from this project. So that family is really the only family directly impacted, and they are very much in support of this. So, we have to kind of balance that really they're the only ones affected, and then we could come forward with a variance later. So I was just making those points. I still haven't quite made up my mind.
Just for a point of clarification, if the easement is not granted agreement, he on his own property can construct a 6-foot wall fence, and we have responsibility for the cypress trees and fires that potentially are there. So we maintain that. He is taking that responsibility from us. We know there's fire risk. So from a city perspective, he can build back on his property line, and we're stuck where we are now, and the fire becomes our liability, where we're talking about now letting him have the opportunity to move forward. So I would strongly want you to consider that because there has recently been a fire, and there have been misdeeds that the fire didn't start on its own. Something initiated it. So that's my concern. And it is not something that we regularly go up there, but it's something we have to maintain. So I'm concerned that, if a fire happened once, it certainly could happen again. The cypress trees burn, and it burned a lot there. We're lucky that there was no damage. So I would, like I say, so if we don't move it there, the owner has every right to build a 6-foot wall on the side property there on his line, and all it's done for us is basically maintain us with a liability, where otherwise we're transferring that. Yeah. So that's just something to keep in mind from a city perspective.
All right, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, I'm for the encroachment in that for the reasons Steve just said, which is let's get the cypress trees on somebody else's, make it their problem rather than ours. No offense. But I also completely see Council Member Miles' point, where I would have liked to have let the people on Feather Hill know so they could come here and have an opinion. I think what I did hear was they're not against the encroachment. They have an issue with the whole idea of a walkway, which we're not talking about tonight. It's not on the agenda. We can't talk about it. But anyway, so if I was to go back in time, I would have liked to have let people on Feather Hill know this is happening. But for the reasons you stipulate that it's not going to change it's going to change the look and feel, but it's not going to change the function of what's happening there. And it's going to make things better. I'm all for it. So I will be voting against my second.
Can I make one last comment?
Hold on one sec. Let me ask Council Member McBride, have anything? Otherwise, you don't have to. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So I'm not against the encroachment. That's for all the reasons that staff has mentioned. I absolutely, logically, safety, everything can see this. And so my comments are not because I'm anti-encroachment agreement. It's more, I don't like it on the consent calendar, and I would have much rather had the public have the ability to see it as an action item and have the ability to have discussion for it, which we're having now, but we had to pull it to do so. So we can vote against, you can vote against the substitute motion. That's fine. It does not change my view on the encroachment agreement, which I think is a good thing, and I appreciate the owner doing it. So if I wasn't clear in that comment, it was more I just would like to have the public have the ability to know what's going on.
Okay, then in that.
He has a comment now.
Oh,
Mayor Wu, I'd like to call the question.
I was going.
Substitute motion first.
Yeah, I was going to do that. All right, then I just want to clarify, in this vote, yes, you will delay this encroachment and you will become a public comment. However, we still did not discuss who will pay the bill. That would be a vote yes. A vote no, we will just go back to the original agenda item as stated, correct?
Correct. Or somebody can do a substitute motion, and that takes precedence if you want, but
Well, I did
let's
the-
just do this. Let's vote on
I
this.
did the substitute, that was the substitute motion.
Yours was the first motion, wasn't it?
But somebody could make another substitute motion, he said.
Oh, okay.
That's
All
what
right.
he's saying.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's just vote this one so my head is not all jacked up. All right.
And Mayor, just to answer your one question, not that really matters, we can always make somebody pay for notifications. We'll just say, we won't give you the agreement unless you pay for the notification to people. So that's not really if you wanted to.
Oh, I understand. I just bring it up because we didn't discuss that part, but that's okay. Let's move forward and let's vote. How's that? Because there's a call on the motion already. Go ahead.
And that feels, so 1 yes, 4 no's, and 0 abstain.
All right, now go back to the original motion is to pass the encroachment. Council member, any further discussion on that?
I'll move it.
Okay.
You didn't need a motion. You never made the motion.
Yeah, she just did.
Second.
Okay,
You made the motion to pass?
Yeah.
just right now.
Oh, I didn't, sorry, we didn't hear.
No
Okay.
problem.
Did you get that? Okay.
Okay,
I didn't, yeah, sorry.
Alyssa's on the ball.
no problem. Okay, let's vote.
And that passes 5-0.
There we go.
All right. Oh, she left. Okay, now we will discuss the city manager's report.
The city manager report this month, we just want to mention that the street project is underway and the maps for the schedule and everything are on our city website and also been put out on the feeder. Thank you.
Thank you for your report. Moving on to council meeting attendance report. Start with law enforcement advisory.
Yes, thank you. We had our meeting on Wednesday, July 15th, and the sheriff did make his presentation at our meeting regarding the fireworks. And while overall we do see an improvement, there were definitely a few problems, and we did mention that at the Law Enforcement Advisory Committee. So I'm very happy that you got up to say exactly what you said, because it's very helpful when we hear from the residents directly. And I also heard from a resident who collected a whole bag of shrapnel from her backyard as well. So we did lose a significant number of deputies, as the captain said, to the incident in Newport Beach, which did kind of qualify the response that we were able to get on the 4th. And if you did kind of pick apart the captain's summary, 3 of the incidents were observed on July 2nd, where it's not even permitted to have any fireworks in the city. And we had another firework incident observed as well on the 3rd, when none are supposed to be lit at all. So that was very valuable information for us. And I think that having the drones gave us that information this year. And so I'm really looking forward to the Sheriff's Department building on that program and being able to use it. And then hopefully next year we can look at really kind of cracking down and getting some citations written, because it does seem like some of these locations in the city are a problem year after year. So thank you for that. We also did discuss license plate reader cameras and the growing controversy right now that's surrounding the technology. But we are continuing to wait for the Orange County Sheriff's Department to release details on their grant program. And that was something that at the last LEAC meeting, the LEAC committee had voted to do, because if we can get some of them paid for, that's what we would like to do. So we also reviewed our e-bike ordinance, and what other communities have been doing. And just to reiterate what the captain mentioned, our National Night Out will be this Tuesday, August 4th, from 6 to 8 p.m., and it is a great event for the whole family, so please come out and enjoy all the presentations with our sheriff and fire department. I know the kids always love the SWAT vehicle, so I'm really happy to hear that's coming back this year. So thank you very much, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Next person up would be Villa Park Community Services Foundation.
I was at the June 24th Foundation Board meeting where we mostly discussed the planning for the July 4th, which was a great parade, a great block party. Forrest Case and his committee all did a wonderful job, and it was terrific. I did miss the other board meeting that took place last week because I was at the JPA insurance meeting that the mayor sent me to. So, Nicole, do you want to take that one?
Sure. Yes. So I just have some dates from that meeting. We're going to be having Symphony on the Go again this year, and that will be on September 26th at 5 p.m. If you've never been, it's a great event. They bring a trailer here with musicians, and you can set up chairs. Rockwell's has some food for sale. It's a lovely event. So I really encourage everyone to attend. Date for the Halloween Fest is October 30th. Correct, Mayor Wu? Okay. And we have set the date for the 2027 5K and Health Fair for May 15th, 2027. So mark your calendars now. I guess people who are really into the whole 5K experience, like, have a lot lined up, so make sure to put us in there. And we did discuss the USA 250 celebration and some ways to improve it next year, but it will be now an annual event to have the picnic, which was traditionally like in August sometime, but kind of combining that with our July 4th celebration to make a much larger, nicer celebration on the 4th of July. So yes, so that's the report from the last meeting.
All right, and the next person up would be OUSD.
That's me again. So there was no meeting. However, I have received word from OUSD that the tennis court project has hit a snag. And so it is likely that the OUSD tennis courts at Villa Park High School will be closed to our residents until mid-October. Originally, we were supposed to be getting use back probably around August 15th, but we've had that delay. So, Alyssa, if we could please put that in the feeder, that would be great just to notify our residents. So we do look forward to having a nicer facility when it's all over, but right now we do have that delay. So thank you.
Next person up, Bridges at Kramer Place Advisory.
Thank you. So we met last week, July 22nd here, and we had two major discussions. One was the presentation of the 2026 point in time count, where we really got to dive into the data about what's going on with our homeless populations. Basically, the data shows a significant downward trend in homelessness, particularly among unsheltered individuals, and marks the first year in which more people are sheltered than unsheltered. So the overall reduction in homelessness, the key findings, there was 6,321 individuals experiencing homelessness countywide, 13.7% reduction in overall homelessness since 2024, with a 26.6 reduction in unsheltered homelessness, and this is the largest decrease since the point-in-time count began. And so that means for the first time there were more sheltered individuals than unsheltered, which indicates an improved success on beds and services. And then as far as some subpopulations, because as we know there's a lot of vulnerable populations, the veterans decreased. This is the data from 2024 to now. So we had 328 veterans, and this point in time was 206. So it was a 37% decrease. Transitional aged youth in 2024 was 308, and that decreased 20% to 245. And then our seniors, there was a slight increase, which was a little bit alarming. And so that went from 869 to 882. So that was not a stat that we were hoping to see. It's broken into 3 areas: North Spa, Central Spa, and South Spa. So we are part of North Spa. We had 2,894 individuals. The Central Spa, which is Service Provider Area, that's what SPA stands for, 2,919. And then South Spa, or Service Provider Area, had 508. So 90% of the unsheltered adults reported spending most of their time in Orange County. That's really important because a lot of times people will say, well, they're transient, maybe they are from a different area, and then they, get here via train or bus or walk or whatever, and so they're not really from Orange County. Well, they are, 90% of them. The financial factor was really the driving force behind the most significant contributor for homelessness. And for the first time, Villa Park had 1 unsheltered point-in-time individual. So the reduction in the overall unsheltered homelessness suggests that shelter expansion, outreach, coordination, and service integration is producing measurable results. And it reflects continued coordination across cities, county agencies, service providers, and advisory bodies like Bridges at Kramer Place Advisory. And then the second thing we did is we had Mercy House is no longer the operator. It's now PATH. So PATH was officially the operator starting July 1st, I want to say. And they came and gave a presentation on the transition and collaboration with Mercy House from May through June. They had all their staff recruitment and training completed prior to July 1st, and PATH developed shelter policies consistent with county standards and Yale navigation centers. So PATH leadership attended all of the guest town halls. They had a big, huge barbecue. Apparently, it was really well received, and the residents at Bridges at Kramer Place were very positive. So PATH is providing 3 meals a day. We usually get told, or used to get told, that the meals were subpar and, the nutrition was a problem. And apparently everyone's loving the new meals, the new daily meals. The supportive services, case management, and coordination with county partners. And one big thing to note is that within the first 2 weeks that PATH became the operator, they had 1 successful exit to permanent housing, which is huge because that typically takes 700 days. And for them to have 1 in just 2 weeks was really good. So we're really looking forward to seeing the progress. And some of us were a little concerned because Mercy House had been such the staple since Bridges first came on board, or online. But PATH seems to be doing a really good job. That's it.
Thank you. Next person, OCFA.
OCFA met on June 25th, board meeting, the biggest takeaway being a new contract was approved for the firefighters labor group that will last 5 years, so that will be over and done with. They are forming a new committee on capital improvements because that's probably what's going to possibly suffer given the new labor contract that they just signed. On June 30th, I met with Chief Jim Ruane and real estate manager for OCFA regarding the property that's next to Fire Station 23. The owner is very motivated to sell, and the OCFA has a little bit of interest. So we'll see what happens.
Thank you. Next person up, Orange County Library Advisory Board.
No meeting?
Next person, Friends of the Villa Park Library.
Librarian Megan Ralston Munger is hitting the ground running, and I encourage everybody to get over and get the schedule of events. They have some really exciting author lectures coming up, so that would warrant investigation. I'm moving right along into Orange County Mosquito and Vector Control District, because that's me next. And we had no meeting this month. However, they have issued an alert and a warning relative to West Nile virus. The county-wide positive samples of mosquitoes has jumped dramatically. And for example, in May, we had 0. In June, we had 17. We now have 206 positives. So they are issuing the alert to say, if you are engaging in outside activities, you probably should wear covering and use mosquito repellent, because it's just a matter of time before we have a human positive. Right now, we have 0 positive birds, so it's just at the cusp of what could actually become more of a health issue for the county. And currently, Villa Park has 0, so I will point that out. Orange has had 1 positive, so it is on the way. Other than that, I think that pretty much wraps it up for mosquito and vector.
Thank you. Next person up, Orange County Older Adults Advisory Commission.
No meeting.
All right. Next item is Orange County Sanitation District. I just want to report that the Taft construction is continuing now, is moving on to meats. So expect delay on meats, and they are continuing to work on that street, and they plan to finish fall 2026. And that's all for the committee. Now we will hear from individual council informations, items, or announcement. Let's start from Council Member McBride.
So I participated in the July 4th parade. I thought it was awesome, and I want to personally thank our council members and Mayor Pro Tem Nicole Jones and Robert Frackleton for decorating our community with bunting and the street signs. I thought they were terrific, and it was a lot of fun, and I got so many positive comments about that. That's what really kind of makes us a community. I would encourage everyone, if they haven't joined the Community Service Foundation, to get your membership in, because this is the kind of thing that just gets better and better when we have more people supporting the group. On 7/13, I attended the Orange County Traffic Authority's 91 toll lanes tour, and it was a full morning session that explains how the toll roads evolved and the technology used to monitor and collect the tolls. It should be noted that not only do toll roads provide a significant time savings for the commuters, which is mostly workforce from East County going that way. They're the large portion of the people using those toll lanes. But it also generates $30 million a year that's put into a dedicated fund to freeway improvements. So that is actually the largest contribution to the work that's going on at Lakeview and improving the 91-55 transition. So it's curious that the toll lanes themselves, people might think that, oh, gee, why is it we still pay for them even though that they've been installed and there is some maintenance, but the funds that are the generated by the excess go to more freeway improvements. So it benefits the entire community and county. Tomorrow I will be participating in the ACC BOLD seminar to understand the role of housing authorities in solving homelessness. And this issue, as Councilmember Miles pointed out, is strongly connected to the regional housing needs assessment and the fact that we have to deal with state regulations trying to solve part and parcel for low-income housing all the way up through. And so that'll be tomorrow, and I'll look forward to being more informed. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person, Councilmember Miles.
Just want to say the 4th of July parade, the community event, it was amazing. Definitely knocked it out of the park there. So want to thank everyone involved. I know there was many moving parts and many individuals. A little shout out to some of our young baseball players. We have 2 from our Villa Park High School class of 2023 that are now moving on to professional baseball. So AJ Cradell was drafted by the New York Mets, and Gavin Grahovic was drafted by the Angels. AJ didn't play Villa Park Little League, but Gavin did ever since he was little. So just really excited for the two of them. And looking forward to National Night Out. And then also really appreciate the comments by our community regarding the fireworks and my colleagues. It's nice to have a warning, but I would like to see that there's something a step up from just a warning, because the warnings aren't going to do anything except for let them know that they don't have any consequences. So hopefully I'll be off the council this time next year, but hopefully there's some further discussion about making sure that we're a little more serious about protecting our community. So, other than that, I hope everyone has a great rest of couple weeks of summer. And we're going to be going back to school, so just be patient. There's a lot of new drivers on the road. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Jones?
Yes, so I, along with my colleagues on council, attended the retirement celebration for Serrano Water District General Manager Jerry Vielander, and I'm sure I speak for everyone when we wish Jerry the very best on his retirement. Again, you know, just have to talk about the 4th of July event. It was just a fantastic event. Thank you so much to Mayor Pro Tem Robert Frackleton for coordinating the flyover. That was definitely a highlight. I kept hearing from residents how much they loved that. Thank you to former Mayor Chad Zimmerman and Mayor Wu for taking turns in the dunk tank. Not everyone did that, so that was a treat. The kids really loved that. And really, I'd like to thank the entire committee, and I'd just like to take a moment to call them out personally. Forrest Case, Ed Carter, former mayor, like I said, Chad Zimmerman, Mayor Pro Tem Robert Frackleton, Mark Kulai, and Birgit Miller were all on the committee, and so many thanks to them for putting this event together. And as I said earlier, it was so successful that we really want to make this a tradition going forward. So we're making a few little changes, kind of make the whole environment feel a little more cohesive by moving the band more into the main area, but really it was such a huge success. And then I did want to state that you may have noticed that the bunting and the street flags have now been removed. Most of them were very worn and faded, and so just out of respect for our flag, we're taking them down, and we've removed all of them. And we are going to save the little plaques. Hopefully, Mayor Pro Tem Frackleton has expressed some interest in maybe doing something similar for the city's 65th anniversary. So we might put some more spirit up next year. But for now, the USA 250 celebrations are not over. Mayor Wu has his time capsule, and so we have that to look forward to. So we're trying to keep the spirit going all year long. So that is my report. Thank you.
I have a question for, there's some residents that had shown interest in perhaps purchasing, if they were for sale, the caps or whatever you're calling them on top of the...
So we heard that, and they look better up there than they do in person. And I'm sure we'd be willing to, but they're not great looking. And they've got we'd really have to clean them up. They've got bird droppings on them now and stuff. So it is a job I'm going to have to do, but
but maybe
if you
we
want to put them in touch with me. They're all sitting in my garage right now.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe, or we could put it online and just say if you're interested to contact Councilwoman.
Yeah, we are talking about reusing some of them, so
Okay.
if you want to put, well, I don't know if we want to. Let's talk about the verbiage, because we would like to keep them to reuse them as well. But yeah, if someone really wants them, but I don't think they're as attractive as people think. And so we were talking about maybe trying to come up with a product that has our logo on it, so people can remember it by, but it's not this huge just block of wood.
Got it.
So we'll talk about that.
All right. Mayor Pro Tem Frackleton?
Okay, so in addition to the board meetings we already talked about and Jerry's retirement from Serrano Water, the 4th of July, I want to thank Risa Scott, Stephen Ashley, Eric Handorf, and Kelly and Catherine McBride for taking down the bunting The Boy Scouts were all off doing their campouts, and so suddenly I realized this was going to be what I thought was going to be a one-person job, and lo and behold, the people I just mentioned came out and really did the bulk of the work. So thank you very much, Councilmember McBride and Mrs. McBride, for doing all that great work. Yes. And then on July 14th, I went to the City of Orange Council meeting to help the Fire Museum or cheer them on, get their MOU reestablished for another year, which they did. And then on July 22nd, Mayor Wu had me join the Insurance Joint Powers Authority meeting over in La Palma, which was very interesting. They have a beautiful building there, so our insurance premiums are going to something. It's very nice, and the food was great. Discussion of reinsurance was interesting to a point. And tomorrow, Mayor Wu and myself are heading up to the Edison Lakes with the Southern California Edison utility to learn more about how that hydropower system works. And I'm sure we're going to be probably bending their ear, at least I will be, and I'm sure Mayor will as well, about PSPS, the public safety power shutoffs, for those of you who lived through 4 days of no power, about how to avoid that, which the council has done a great job on that issue with them already, but it's going to be nice to have some of those Edison people face to face and really reiterate that. So, Alyssa, do you want to go to the last slide? This Thursday is Mayor Wu's 50th birthday party. Mayor Wu turns 50. So if the audience doesn't mind and the council doesn't mind, can we sing happy birthday to Mayor Wu? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mayor Wu. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. That's quite a surprise. Well, thank you so much for that. And, you didn't have to announce my age.
You're the youngest on the council.
I am, and I look like it. And I like to keep it that way. Thank you so much for that singing. And I, along with the council member, I attend the Serrano General Manager retirement, and I certainly had a lot of fun for 4th of July. And especially, that was my first time being in the dunk tank. Did not know how cold that water was coming out directly from the fire hose. So that was a lot of fun. And as Councilmember Jones mentioned, our celebration 250 continues for Villa Park specifically for 50 years time capsule. On Saturday, August 8th, from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, the committee members for the time capsule will be in this room. Feel free to bring in whatever you believe deems worthy to put it in the box to be open 50 years from now. And we will take a picture of it, we will categorize it. As you all will be aware, the box is not huge, so we had to be very precise what can be put in there. And also the material, would it be last for 50 years? So I would really encourage all of you, whoever is watching and our community, come on the 8th, bring in whatever item that you've been collecting for a while that is related to Villa Park or to you personally that you would like your new generation to see it 50 years from now. I have personally knocked on all the business in this plaza, the only plaza that we have. They are all very excited. In fact, some of them already already stop by, drop off the items, such as Rockwell have dropped off their menu. I think the hamburger right now is $22. Maybe 50 years from now, a hamburger will be $100. Who knows? But that's keep our history alive for 50 years, and please participate. Or you can just write a message. Our plan is to put all the message together and photo into a book, and we would bury that. And the time to bury this box will be in the middle of October. And I understand what I'm about to say sounded a little bit eerie, but before we bury it, we will have a viewing party right in this room for everybody alive currently to get to see it, because 50 years from now, as Mayor Pro Tem White mentioned, my age 50, so plus another 50 will be 100. I'm not sure I will be around, so I would love to see all the items and have our community get to see the items also. So thank you so much for everybody participating. Now we will adjourn the regular meeting until next time, August 25th, 2026 at 6:30. Thank you for your participation and have a wonderful evening and stay cool for the summer.